Next children, to understand the concept of this uniform circular motion, let us consider the example of an athlete running in the track. An athlete is running in the track. Which track means here we have considered different tracks as you can see on the board. First one is the rectangular track, next is the hexagonal track, next octagonal track, and next is the circular track. What does this mean? First we have considered the example of the rectangular track. So imagine that an athlete is running in the rectangular track. So imagine first let us assume that he is starting from his point A. He is running towards the point B. Again he takes a turn here and reaches the point C. Again he takes a turn, reaches the point B. Again he turns and reach or move towards the point A. This is how he has to cover this rectangular track in order to complete his motion, his path. Okay na? So now as the athlete runs from this covers this distance from A to B, after reaching the point B, he will increase or decrease his speed according to the requirement and then takes a turn and reach the point C. Again he does the same at the point C, means he's changing its speed or he's changing its velocity in order to gain more speed or to decrease the speed. Yes, no, if I ask you to come running in a straight line, yes, you can run very fast. But if at all I ask you to take a turn, you all are experts in sports, you have many good sports players in your class. So they all can help us in this understanding this concept in better way. So when we conduct different sports activities in the school, you know the backyard what we have in the field where you run for the competition. There 200 meter, 400 meter relay and all you play. No, there children, if in straight line you will come very fast. But if at all you take the turn, can you take the turn with same speed? No, you will decrease the speed, and again once you make the move or you take the turn, then you again increase your speed. That is what you do now. The same thing the athlete is doing here in order to cover this rectangular track A, B, C, D. So if at all he is traveling from A to B, B to C, at point C, again he is changing his speed and he is reaching towards the D. Again he is changing his speed and reaching towards the A. He is heading towards the A. Finally he is covering this path A, B, C, D. Now children, in the rectangular path, so how many times did he change his speed? He may decrease or he may increase. How many times has he changed this speed of his change his speed when he is running is 4 times. Why? Near A1s, B1s, C1s, D1. He started with slow. Then from when he started, initially you will start running fast. No, you will. Yes, you will of course run fast. But still, initial position, if you take A to B1 speed, again when you reach the point B to take the turn, you will decrease your speed and again run. You pick up the speed like that. So initially 4 times, we want to say that 4 times an athlete is changing his speed. Similarly, this is about the rectangular track. Similarly, if you consider the hexagonal track, hexagon means how many sides or vertices it has? 6. Penta 5, hexagon 6. So A, B, C, D, E, F. This is the path he will cover. A, B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F and F to A back. So when he is covering this hexagonal track, so at all these junctions A, B, C, D, E, F and again A, he is changing his speed. He is changing his speed of motion. Why we studied here in the first case. So how many times he will change his speed in an hexagonal track? Means obviously you say it is 6. Next we have considered the octagonal track. Octagonal means octa, 8, octopus, 8, you know, no? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H and back to A is the path, is the direction in which he is traveling, children. So in order to cover all these points, that is corners, and finally come back to his point A, how many times he is making the turns or how many times he is changing his speed means octagonal track means finally it is 8 times he is changing. You can do rectangular track 4 times he will change. Hexagonal 6 times. Octagonal 8 times. So if you go on increasing the number of turns like this octagon, next nanogon, then next with 10 sides, 11 sides, 12 sides, like that, if you go on doing, finally what you get is this complete circular path. Yes, no? If you consider, see this distance AD was so big here in the rectangular track. But consider this distance AB, one side was AD is so big. Or AB if you consider so big it is in case of rectangular. But in case of hexagonal, it got reduced. Yes, no, the number of corners will be more if you go on increasing the number of sides. Compared to hexagon, in octagon it is still more smaller. Next, if you take nanogon, 9 sides, 10 sides, 11 sides, 12 sides, like that. Finally, if you go on increasing the number of corners or number of sides like this, finally what you get is this circular track, children. So, in octagon, his change is changing. He's meeting 4 corners and at all the 8 corners, and in all the 8 corners he is changing his speed. He is making the turn and finally he reaches this circular path. When you are in the circular path, how many times you turn or how many times you change the speed? That is the its velocity. The person who is running, the athlete who is running in the circular track should change the velocity only when will change only during his direction of motion. So it is up to him. Whenever he is changing his direction of motion, he will change the speed. So this is about the circular track, children. Now, if at all we write the equation of motion, so if at all we say a person is traveling with uniform speed in the circular track, then it is said to called as uniform circular motion. We studied the motion of an athlete in different tracks, rectangular track, hexagon, octagon. Like this only, if we go on increasing the number of sides, what will happen, children? Finally, this distance what is there will keep on reducing and finally it will become the circular track. So, here all these 3 cases we find it out how many times he is taking the turns and changing his speed in turn. And we came to know in this case it is 4, this case hexagon 6, octagon it is 8. But in case of circular path, if at all he is changing his speed, it's only depending on his direction of motion. His magnitude of velocity will change. Magnitude means what? I said magnitude 2, he is moving with 2 km per hour speed, 1 km per hour speed, 2, 1, what we say the numbers, those are called the magnitude. So the magnitude of velocity changes only when the athlete changes his direction of motion. So this type of motion in the circular track where the velocity is changing along the direction of motion of a person, then it is said to be this uniform, it's called uniform circular motion. So let us now look at the definition. What is uniform circular motion? Means when an object moves in a circular path with uniform speed, then it is called uniform circular motion. We have been studied about the uniform and non-uniform motion with respect to distance, velocity and acceleration, children. With respect to circular motion, if at all we study, it is the, when we say the body is executing uniform circular motion, when it is moving in a circular path with uniform velocity or with uniform speed, then we say the body is having uniform circular motion. So for all this uniform velocity, acceleration and all, we learned the formula. What is the formula when it comes to uniform circular motion? Means obviously it is, we are calculating the speed, no? So it is V is equal to velocity, speed. V is equal to, since we know that an object is moving in circular path or the circular track, so it is the radius of the circle, if you take 2 pi r in the numerator, with respect to time it is, so divided by t. Formula to find out the uniform circular motion of the body, V is 2 into pi into r by t. Why 2 pi r? It is the circular path, so it is the radius 2 pi r and divided by t. Why? Because we are finding the uniform circular motion of a body with respect to time. This is the formula. V is equal to 2 into pi into r by t. So this completes theoretical part of the chapter motion. That is the first chapter in physics, children. Next we shall solve. We learnt about the three different equations of motion. Now let us solve the exemplar problems based on that in your textbook. So children, we studied the graphical representation of motion as well as the different equations of motion. So which are the equations of motion which we studied? V is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, v square minus u square is equal to 2a. You are already familiar with this formula. So let us solve the exemplar problem solved in your textbook based on these equations of motion. In page number 108, children, you have this example 8.5. The question is, a train starting from rest attains a velocity of 72 km per hour in 5 minutes. Assuming that the acceleration is uniform, find the acceleration and the distance travelled by a train for attaining this velocity. The question is very simple. So train, it is starting from rest, means its initial velocity u is 0. And once after starting from initial point, with what speed it continues to move, it will travel, it attains a velocity of 72 km per hour in a span of 5 minutes. Assuming that the acceleration is uniform. Uniform acceleration means in 5 minutes if it covers, it is moving with 72 km per hour. Next 5 minutes, 5 plus 5, 10 minutes. 72 plus 72, that many kilometer per hour speed it is going, like that it is uniform acceleration they mean to say. They are asking us two sub questions. First one is find the acceleration. Second part, the distance travelled by the train for attaining this velocity. So to attain this velocity of 72 km per hour in 5 minutes, how much distance did it travel in the span of 5 minutes, in which the train was moving with the speed of 72 km per hour? We need to find out. Hope you have understood the question. So first let us solve the first part, children. A train starting from rest attains a velocity of 72 km per hour. Before that, a train is starting from rest means its initial velocity u is equal to 0. Next, it attains velocity of 72 km per hour means velocity is 72 km per hour, children. In 5 minutes, so time t it is taking is 5 minutes. In the first part, they are asking us to find out what is acceleration. So this is for the first sub question, children. Now you all know, first you should write the given data in this. This is the steps of to solve. First write the given data like this. Then you check whether all the quantities given here are in SI unit, whether it is in standard unit. Then only you can proceed by choosing the formula substitution and solving, children. Don't substitute as it is. See here, initial velocity 0 means fine, you can leave it. Now final velocity v, it is in terms of kilometer per hour. Is kilometer per hour a standard unit? No, SI unit is meter per second for velocity. Hence we need to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second. Similarly, children, time t is 5 minutes. Is minutes the standard unit for time? No, time, SI unit of time is seconds. So we need to change this velocity to meter per second and time in minutes to seconds. So let us do it. Now, given velocity is 72 km per hour. How do you convert kilometer per hour to meter per second is the question now. It is very simple, right? 72 as it is. Kilometer per hour, children. Per is nothing but it is divided by, correct? See, it is like divided by hour. So now velocity is 72 as it is, we will write. Kilometer we need to convert to meter. So 1 kilometer is 1000 meters. So I will multiply by 1000. Per hour means divided by hour. 1 hour is how many seconds? 3600 seconds. Like this you will substitute. Have you understood? 1000 meter is 1 kilometer. So in place of kilometer, to convert to meter, we are multiplying by 1000. Per hour was there. Per means that line is nothing but it goes in the denominator. It means it is in the denominator. So hour is in the denominator means 1 hour is how many seconds? Why we have to write it in terms of seconds? Why SI unit of time is seconds. So 3600 seconds means it is 1 hour. Now simplification. 00 will get cancelled. 36 ones are 36, 2 times is 72 children. 2 into 10. We are left with one more 0 here. So it is together 10. 2 into 10 is 20 meter per second is the unit now. So we got velocity to be 20 meter per second. Before it was 72 kilometer per hour, means 20 meter per second is the speed now. And similarly, time is 5 minutes children. 1 minute is how many seconds? Like that if you do 5. So children, given time is 5 minutes now. So you need to convert this 5 minutes to seconds. How do you do? 1 minute is 60 seconds we know. 1 minute is 60 seconds means 5 minutes is clearly 300 seconds. So time is 300 seconds now. Time is 300 seconds. So we have converted all the given units to standard form. Now we shall think what is the formula we can use. Which formula of equation among 3 we can use, we will think. So acceleration is question mark, means we need to find acceleration, means we can go with the first equation of motion. V is equal to u plus at. In this equation V is equal to u plus at children, do we know V? Yes, we know. Do we know u? Yes, we know. Do we know A? No, we need to find out. Do we know time t? Yes, we know. So let us rewrite this formula so that the unknown quantity is our LHS. To do that children, V on the LHS we were writing as it is. This U which is on the RHS I am bringing to LHS, means plus U becomes minus U is equal to A into T, as it is I will write. Now I have been repeatedly telling you in class and also in this videos children, if at all you are bringing any quantity from LHS to RHS or RHS to LHS, if plus sign is there in between any term, two terms, when you are bringing it, you will just change the sign. So plus U, when I bring it became minus U. But now among A and T, between A and T, I need to bring T to the other side now. I want only the unknown quantity A to be on one side. For doing that children, if multiplication is there between any two terms and one of the term if you bring it to LHS or to the RHS, you will always divide it. So this V minus U of LHS I will write as it is, and this T if I send to RHS, it becomes V minus U by T is equal to A. Or we always have habit of keeping the unknown quantity on LHS. I am not doing any changes to this formula children, just like mirror image, I am replacing it. So I want unknown quantity A to be on LHS, on the RHS, same formula. V minus U divided by T. Now let us substitute. What is V? Sorry, this V we need to substitute. What we got? V to be 20 meter per second. While substitution, no need to write unit. V is 20 minus U. What is U? Initial velocity is 0. Divided by time T is 300. 20 minus 0 is 20 itself, divided by 300. 1 0 in the numerator gets cancelled with 1 0 in the denominator. So you are left with 2 divided by 30. Let us do with 2 table. 2 ones are 2. In the denominator 3 is there. 2 ones are 2. If you do, remainder is 1. It becomes 10. 2 5s are 10. So we got 1 divided by 15. You want me to show the actual division or directly? I will show. Why confusion? 1 is there. I need to divide it by 15. It is not possible. So 0 point I will take. This became 10. Is it possible to divide? No. 10 is still very much less than 5. 1 more 0. 1 more 0. 5, 15, 6, 90. So 6, 90 means remainder is 10 children. Decimal point is there, again take 0. So see, this physics problems are also helping us in understanding again what are terminating and non-terminating or recurring. See, again it is, again if you get 10, again 100, same value we got. Again 6 you will do 90, again remainder 10. Like that 0.06 bar. Bar should be written only on 6 children, not on 0. So that is maths. Okay, now don't get confused. Simply we got this point, now I am explaining you. So 0.06 is the answer. So acceleration now it is 0.06. What is the unit for acceleration? Meter per second square. And put the answer always in one dabba. You know, you have been used to it. So acceleration is 0.06 meter per second square in the first case. So oh, okay, in your textbook children, they have kept 1/15 as it is. I made you do this. No problem. Let us simplify. Let us do one more step. It is not a loss. Now we shall go to the second part of the question. Let me do in this area available. Second part is, they are asking us to find what? Find the distance travelled by the train in attaining this velocity. Means distance is question mark. We don't know what is the distance. So children, here distance means, if I write it in terms of d, do you have the term d in any of the three equations of motion? No. You remember, no? Here in the equation of motion, in the first formula v is equal to u plus at, v is final velocity, u is initial velocity, a is acceleration, t is time. Similarly, in the second equation of motion, s is equal to ut plus half at square. S is the distance, children. Distance in equation of motion is not represented by letter d, but it is represented by the letter s. So here s is the distance travelled, u is initial velocity, t is time, half is constant, a is acceleration, t is time. Similarly, in v square minus u square is equal to 2a, v is final velocity, u is initial velocity, 2 constant, a acceleration, s is distance again. So you should write s is equal to question mark and not d is equal to question mark here. Why? S is the representation for the distance travelled by the body in case of the equations of motion. Am I too fast? No. So we have 2as, to go to the question. Now the distance travelled by the train in attaining this. So now based on the data we have, which in 2 and 3, in both equation 2 and 3 we have the distance s. So which formula to use, we shall think now. Do we know initial velocity, final velocity, acceleration? Yes, we know all the three quantities here in both the equations of motion. So which have they used is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Before that, let us write what is v. What is v? It is 20 meter per second. What is u? Initial velocity was 0, time t is again the correct 300, yes, 300 seconds. Now let us use the form equation of motion, v square minus u square is equal to 2as, children. Here s is the unknown quantity. V square minus u square of LHS I will keep as it is. See, in between 2a and s, I want only s to be present here on one side. So this 2a and s, in between them, their multiplication is sign there. Means I should divide this by 2a. So I get v square minus u square by 2a is equal to s. Either you can substitute at this point, or as we did here, you can rewrite one more step by keeping the unknown quantity on LHS. That is s is equal to v square minus u square by 2a. Yes, children, I am telling you one point. See, when I rewrite the formula like this, you need not change the sign what we are applying when sending from LHS to RHS or RHS to LHS. That I am not changing LHS RHS. I am just replicating it, just reversing the formula. Only when doing this step you need to apply the sign convention. So I am telling you, if at all this is confusing and telling you to change sign, you are interchanging, change the sign means don't listen. You can stop at this point only and substitute. It is not a problem. Now let me substitute. S is equal to v square. What is v? 20 meter per second square. So it is 20 whole square. Or shall we do one thing? No. 20 whole square minus initial velocity is 0 square divided by 2 as it is. Acceleration A, just now we got, oh they are keeping it as 1.1 by 15. Don't worry, let us keep it as 0.06 by 2A, 2 into 0.06. Now let us simplify, children. For that which I need to clean the board, and let me do it. Hope here you have understood how to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second and minutes to seconds. Now S is equal to 20 square, I will write it as 20 into 20 minus 0 I can leave as it is. 2 into 0.06 I have. 2 ones are 2 tens are. So S is 10 into 20 means it is 200 divided by 0.06. Now if we have kept 1 by 15, our simplification would be easy. But why should we make it easy? No? We are all at home. So let us spend time on such things. So here children, in the denominator, 2 decimal points I want to shift in order to remove this decimal number, to make this decimal number a whole number. This we have been doing now. 2 decimal points if you are shifting in the denominator. In the numerator 200 we have now 2 zeros I will add, and this 0.06 will now become just 6. So now we shall do this actual division, where this 20,000 has to be divided by 6. So let us take 2 numbers at a time. 6 3s are 18, 6 4s are 24. So 6 3s are 18. 20 minus 18 is 2. Bring down 0. Again 6 3s are 18. Difference is 2. Bring down 0. What are we doing? Same thing you will get. All the zeros if you bring down also. You should keep on adding 3 here. So that we can directly do. No? How means? How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros only we should count. Why only 4 zeros? Though it is 20,000. Why? Because at a time 20 we are considering. No? So we are left with 4 zeros means 4 3s directly I will add here. Or if you want to do happily, since no time, no work sitting at home, yes please you can do. Bring down 0. Again minus 18 to bring down the last 0. 20 minus 18, again the remainder is 2, like this. So the distance covered is 3333. Can it be 3333? Yes, it is 3333 itself. But it is in terms of meter per second, children. Don't get shocked. Is it covering distance of 3333 meter in 5 minutes? No. Why? Because they gave us the velocity in terms of kilometer per hour, but we have converted it into meter per second and substituted. So it is 3333. So if you want to convert it into kilometer again, so divide it by 1000. When you divide, what you get is 3.3. How? Let us see. No place here. Here I will do 3333 has to be divided by 1000. 1003 is a 3000. Remainder 333. It is not possible to divide 333 by 1000. Keep one decimal point here. Means you can add one 0 here. So 3300 means obviously I should again go with 1003 is a 3000. Remainder is 330 again. It is continuing. After decimal point, one digit if you find out, it is enough, children. So directly I wrote S is 3.3 kilometer per hour. So means it is covering 3 kilometer, distance of 3 kilometer. Don't write it in terms of hour, only kilometer. So it is distance. So distance covered by the train is 3.3 kilometer. in a span of 5 minutes when it is moving with the speed of 20 meter per second. This is the answer. Hope you have understood, children. This part I think I should repeat. What we did here is, this part you came to know, 3333 we got. Can distance be 3333 kilometer in a span of 5 minutes? Can you just imagine? No. So what we did here is that velocity was given in terms of kilometer per hour. But to keep it in SI unit, what we did, we converted into meter per second and we made the velocity to be 20 meter per second. And here what we have got, 3333 is the meter. Since they was given in kilometer, whatever they have given, we should give back. No. So if you will give me one piece of cake and keep it with you, please. I will come after 2 minutes and collect it from you. If I haven't bite, take this is the remaining. Can I do that to you? No, I should give you the full piece of cake. No. So they have given us velocity in kilometer per hour, means of course I should give them back in terms of kilometer only. So what we need to do is, the 3333 what we got in terms of meter, we want to convert it into kilometer. So we will divide by 1000. There, to convert from kilometer to meter, we multiplied by 1000, children. Here to convert meter to kilometer, we are dividing by 1000. So when you divide, you get 3.3. How? I have shown you the calculation here. So distance is 3.3 kilometer. But they have not done so now. So they have just got 3 kilometer. Either way you can do. If you want to go with textbook, okay, do, no problem. This is about example 8.5. Next we shall study about 8.6. Only last two problems of this lesson. We will soon finish it. Example 8.6. A car accelerates uniformly from 18 km per hour to 36 km per hour in 5 seconds. Calculate the acceleration again and the distance covered by the car in that time.